Yo, welcome to the zone, the fantasy throne. All world vibes where the stats get shown. Play the wrong gurus dropping gems on the mic. Line up, skid tight, every pick sounding right. From Sundays to Mondays, we making it clear. Trade talk with the grab strategy severe. Deep dives absurd like a L.M.S.L spree. All world fantasy where legends agree. Defenses stacking, the points adding weight. Hosts dropping heat, don't you dare show up late. Dynasty dreams or a DFS glance. This your winning ticket, give your lineup a chance. All world fantasy, we break it down raw. Draft board champs with a playbook to all. High game dishes, the knowledge too deep. From sweepers to stars, we make your team elite.
Welcome back to All World's Fantasy Football Podcast. Here on episode number 5, I'll be recapping last year what happened in my home league, Last Man Standing League. It was a 2-quarterback Superflex league. Very competitive. We are very active. Lot of talking trash, I can tell you that. Gotta have thick skin to be in this league. 10-team league, 2-quarterback Superflex, tight end premium, 1 point per percent. No, it's 1.5 points per reception for a tight end. We have 10 starters and 8 bench players. Yes. So recapping last year in our league, where Coach Rick won his second title in his league. He finished second with a 10-4 record. He was dominant all year. Multiple trades, of course, which this league does a lot of. Coach Jack finished 6-8, where he broke the record most trades in the season by a mile. I think he finished with like 80 trades. He pretty much had several different lineups every week. He had almost 99% of every player that's in the NFL on his team, at least for a day or two. I finished 13-1. I broke the record, most points scored throughout the year, most points scored in a game, with 277. I did it twice, and I scored 246. Then Rick scored 224. Then scored 220. The record was 223 set by Coach Showtime last year. Coach Showtime finished tied second with Coach Rick with 10-4 record. Just a Fantasy, that's Coach Will. He finished 8-6. His team name, he changed his team name to Medical Tent because he dealt with injuries all year. But once again, it's a competitive league. He didn't give up. He stayed in there. He ended up going to the championship game again for the 3rd time, coming up short in the championship. He's second in our league in win percentage and number 1 in our league in playoff win percentage. HD, that's Hunter. He finished 7-7. He finished 5th. Then we have Jack. He finished 6-8. And then the ones that didn't make the playoffs was my father, Curtis Jr. He finished 5-9. Coach Sean, he finished 5-9. Coach Josh finished 4-10, and Coach Rod once again finishing last at 2-12. Once again, this league, you have to have thick skin. You have to have some type of football knowledge, or you will be taken advantage of. It's a lot of negotiating throughout the year via text, phone calls, throughout the day. No matter if you sleep, at work, there's always negotiation going on throughout the year. We trade throughout the year, even during the off season. We can trade our draft picks because our draft order's already set soon as the season's over with. The way we do it in our league, we vote on everything. We always give everybody a voice in our league. Everybody gets a chance, a vote at everything that been brought to the table. We have it where we voted in about 2 years ago where if you win the championship, you don't pick 10th. No, you pick in the middle of the round. So you'll be picking fifth. And the person that lost to you in the championship game, they pick sixth. And then so forth and so on. And then the what is it? This is the toilet bowl championship, where the four teams that didn't make the playoffs, they have something to fight for too. That number one seed is, it don't go to the person that have the worst record, because that we took the chance of you tanking out of the question, where you have to play throughout the year. So you have to win that toilet bowl championship just to get the number one pick. So again, congratulations, Coach Rick, for his second championship in his league. We head into our fifth year. Um, the day ones, our core is Coach me, Coach Showtime, Coach Rick, Coach Jack, Coach Wim, and Coach Rob. Us six been here since the start of Last Man Standing League. I'm the commissioner. The co-commissioner is Coach Showtime. Um, Last year, I would say recapping the draft, and I'm gonna just recap the late round picks, the picks that people don't care about in most leagues. In the 12th round, JSN went to Coach Ra. He finished ninth last year in our league, 14.8 points a game. And the pick right after that JSN pick was Coach Showtime. He picked Brian Thomas Jr., the rookie wide receiver from Jacksonville. He finished fourth in the wide receiver position, averaging 16.7. In the 13th round, Rico Dowdle was drafted by me. He finished 23rd. Of course, y'all know he came on late last year once he got the chance. Cowboys dumb. He was the best running back on the team. He finally got his chance. He finished with 12 points per game, finishing 23rd. Chuba Hubbard in the 15th round was drafted by Hunter HD. He finished, I think he finished 14th or 8th, and he averaged 16 points per game. And the 15th round as well. The 15th round, Chase Brown was drafted by Showtime. He finished 10th at the running back position, averaging 15.9 points per game. Then the last round, well, next to the last round, we got 18 rounds. Next to the last round, 17th round, was Jared Judy, was drafted by Coach Sean. He finished 12th in his position, 14 points per game. See, late round picks matter. So I would tell anybody that's drafting live or just drafting period, stay active. Stay active throughout the season, throughout the off season. Stay in tune with the news, coaching changes. Everything matters in fantasy football. The numbers, those analytics, those are huge. So just stay as active as you can. I know all of us have obligations, families, kids, work, just life. But I love fantasy football. This is my home right here. That's why I started this podcast. It's so passionate at talking about it day in and day out, discussing rankings, numbers, my thoughts, my feelings. I just love this. But like I said again, going back to recapping the Last Man Standing League, the best league in the world, hands down. Let's recap the three trades that stood out that helped form the league in a major way. The first trade that comes to mind is Coach Showtime and Coach Rick. That was right at the deadline. Coach Showtime traded Lamar and Zay Flowers for Jalen Hurts and Puka. At the time, we all said that Coach Showtime won that trade because he was getting Puka and Jalen Hurts. But it ended up panning out for Coach Rick because they met up in the conference championship round where Jalen Hurts got hurt. So you know what happened from that point on. Coach Showtime ended up losing. Coach Rick ended up advancing to the championship and ended up winning it all. The other trade that stick out was week 7. Coach Sean traded away Josh Allen to Coach Wim for Mahomes and Kareem Hunt. That trade helped. That trade helped turn around Coach Wim's season because he was dealing with a lot of injuries most of the year. And again, he changed his team name to Medical Tent, which Allen finished number one, averaging 27.8 from that point on. And Mahomes finished in 11th, averaging 20. Hunt 31st, averaging 11.7. That helped Coach Wim get out there. Like I said, his team was dealing with injuries all year. He was around that 50, that 500 range as far as win loss. Man, he needed that trade. That trade propelled him to making it to the finals. That's the team that beat me in the conference final. But big ups to Coach Will, man. He been consistent, man. He's one of the most consistent coaches in the league, man. Big ups to Coach Will. The other trade was between me and Coach Josh. That was week 2. That's the trade that made my team so dominant to a 13-1 record and breaking all the records and single game records. I traded Jared Goff, James Cook, and Drake London for the Cincy stack. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I did it. I decided to pull the trigger after 2 weeks of seeing Cincy. Joe Burrow, week 1 in our league, scored 8.6 points against the Patriots. Then week 2, 17.2 points versus Chiefs. I saw that Burrow wrist look good and a couple of passes thrown to Chase, that connection. I think I seen like a back shoulder fade. And before Chase can even turn his hips and turn his head, the ball was right there. It's just that bond they got, that chemistry. And that would make me go all in on the Cincy stack. Because I was down on Burrow because of the risk. Knowing that they start off slow every year, kind of took advantage of that. And Chase didn't even have his contract. So I think he set out for the mini camp and preseason. So I ain't trust him coming into the year. I thought he would be out of shape. I thought it gonna take him a little while to get back in shape. So I was kind of scared of off of the Cincy stat. But after week 2, I had made the trade. So it was just perfect timing for me. That's right. That was right before week 3 when they started off balling from that point on. It was against Washington. Burrow put up 29.3 points and Chase put up 33.8 after a real slow start to his year where he totaled 19.7 points the first 2 weeks. I gave up Jared Goff, Cook, and London. Their finishes end of year, Goff finished 6th, Cook finished 8th, and London finished 5th. And of course, everybody know Joe Burrow finished 3rd and Chase finished number 1. In our league, the top 40 players from last year, 24, according to our sleeper app. Quarterbacks was 16, running back was 12, wide receiver was 8, and tight end was 4. Tight end premium league. Again, the league that I commish with my co-commissioner Showtime. Again, what we try to do is, of course, make it as competitive, fun, interactive, the brotherhood as a second family. We try to be there for each other. Of course, we bump heads from time to time throughout the year because we just so competitive. Of course, we go off the rails from time to time because we just want to win. But I just feel like as the years has passed, the coaches that we have brought in, like Coach Sean and Coach Josh, Coach Hunter, what they brings to the league is the little bits, parts of a league that every leagues need. Humbleness, caring, you know what I'm saying? Did that extra in the league. I respect all of them. I call them my brothers. I love every individual in my league. And that goes for my other league as well. I will be recapping that league sometime next week. That's my 14-team league with the commissioner is Forrest and the co-commissioner is Lil Steve. That's the Scream League. That's a very competitive league as well, especially being 14 team. That's a standard league. But I'll be recapping that next week, sometime next week or the following week. But yeah, back to Last Man Standing League, man. I just feel like it's the best league ever because everybody has a voice. We don't just have the commissioner making all the decisions. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for all the support, the likes, the shares, the subscriptions. I really appreciate and love everybody. It really means a lot to me because this is something I love, enjoy. It's just a part. It's just a part of me. I appreciate it. I see y'all once again. I should be dropping another episode probably around sometime this weekend or early part of next week. I'll be talking about my top 24 quarterbacks. I already discussed my top 12, but of course rankings change daily based off information I get and news. So it'll be really breaking down from quarterback 13 to 24. I got an interesting one, like where does CJ Stroud falls in the top 24? But y'all have to wait for that. But again, much love. I really appreciate all the support. See y'all soon.
Yo, welcome to the zone, the fantasy throne. All world vibes where the stats get shown. Read the wrong gurus dropping gems on the mic. Lineups get tight, every pick sounding right. From Sundays to Mondays, we making it clear. Great talk with the grab strategy severe. Deep dives absurd like a L.M.S.L spree. All world fantasy where legends agree. Defenses stacking, the points adding weight. Hosts dropping heat, don't you dare show up late. Dynasty dreams or a DFS glance. This your winning ticket, give your lineup a chance. All world fantasy, we break it down raw. Draft board champs with a playbook to all. High game dishes, the knowledge too deep. From sweepers to stars, we make your team elite.